Greetings everyone, and welcome back to my wine diary, the channel where everything is related to wine. Whether you're interested in expanding your wine knowledge for yourself or for the sake of the guests that you invite to your house every once in a while, this video is for you. Today we will be discussing 5 ways how to step up your wine game. As always, before we jump into this video, don't forget to consider subscribing to this channel. That subscribe button, we all know where it is. It's right down below. So please make sure to click on it, click on that notification bell and the like button before you forget and just log out of this video. That will make my day. YouTube really enjoys those algorithms, so it will really help my channel. So help me out and I will continue to bring this beautiful quality content to you. Now, if you are a wine lover or a wine connoisseur, whatever you want to call yourself, if you're just a person who enjoys wine, I bet you that you would want to learn something more about wine to up your game just a little bit. That's just our human nature. I feel like we always want to learn something extra, something new to surprise ourselves and our family, our friends and whatnot. So those are the things that we will be discussing today. Coming at you with my tip number 1 for today on how to step up your wine game, and that is to make your cheap wine taste expensive. I know it sounds super silly, but this is our goal, people. This is what we're here for. I'm telling you, to take that inexpensive wine and make it taste more expensive by doing what you say. Simple, by aerating it. Aerating your wine will make a world difference to the way the wine tastes. So even if you buy the cheapest wine in a store, I can almost 100% guarantee you that by aerating it, it will taste a little bit better. So just imagine what it can do to some mediocrely priced wine, so not completely cheap. It will totally make them taste like they're $50 or $60, $70 bottles. So give it a try and let's talk about the ways of decanting. I just so happen to have a perfectly filmed video for you. I will try to plug it in right here in the little banner so you can check it out in the corner. And that is 5 ways to aerate your wine. Go check that one out. Extremely helpful. But in this video, we will just mention the most known way of aerating the wine, and that would be decanting your wine. If you don't have a decanter in the house, go ahead and pour it in any vessel. Maybe you have a I don't know, anything really. Go ahead and pour it into any sort of vessel that's a little wider on the bottom, that has a narrow opening, so that our wine can really open up, get that oxygen flowing. So decanting your wine would be one way. And then if you don't have the means to decant it, use your aerator. Maybe put it through a blender. I actually did that crazy thing in my video that I linked right there. If you still haven't clicked on it, I actually blended my wine. Yep, that happened. So go check it out, don't miss it. My tip number 2 for you to step up your wine game is actually to stop chilling all of your white wine. So this is a common misconception that every single white wine should be chilled. Well, truth be told, we have some rich white wines like Chardonnay, for instance, that is perfectly served at, say, 50 or 60 degrees temperature. So you don't have to chill it on an ice bucket. That will give it closer to 32, 35 degrees temperature, which will essentially kill all of the aromas and the flavors of the wine, or at least make them much, much harder for you to detect. Jumping on my tip number 3 for you today on how to step up your wine game, and that is detect when the wine is bad. So there are quite a few rules of thumb that we can follow here on detecting a bad wine. First will absolutely be the smell of the wine. So always sniff your wine first before you even take a sip. And things to look out for are smells like a wet dog smell or some burnt rubber smell, maybe vinegar smell, some cardboard smell maybe will be a good indicator of, say, some corkage being spoiled in that bottle or wine not being stored properly with that cork. So look out for those bad smells in your wine when you sniff it before you even take the first sip. Once you move forward onto the sipping your wine, you can also detect some bad qualities of wine by sipping it. So on the tongue here, on the palate, you can detect some pretty nasty nasty flavors too. I'll give you a bonus tip on this one. You don't actually even have to smell or drink your wine to detect some bad qualities in it. You can just look at the wine and see if there is anything wrong with it. Something that will immediately put a red flag in front of you, making you question the quality of that wine. So the look of the wine, that's why we always look at the wine first, then we sniff, then we actually take a sip. So when it comes to the look, make sure that it's not browner than it should be. So have an idea of what the color of wine is that you're ordering, and make sure that when they bring it to you, it's not like this brown, I don't know, fall leaves color, so to say. That's the color that you want to avoid. And secondly, a big indicator of a bad wine are bubbles in a non-sparkling wine. So if you order your still wine, basically like the majority of wines, and you see bubbles in it, I'd question it. For my point number 4 of this video on how to step up your wine game, I'm actually going back to decanting. And I know that I've talked about decanting in my point 1 when we were talking about aerating the wine, but let's pause on the decanting point for a moment here. Now, whilst decanting is the proper way of aerating the wine, it can actually serve you in other ways in order to step up your wine game. So let's think about how aesthetically pleasing decanters are. They look absolutely gorgeous. You put them on the table, you can really conceal the bottle that you bought by pouring it into a decanter. So again, going back on the price side, you can buy a cheaper bottle of wine, pour it into a decanter. No one will ever notice. Nobody will probably ever know how cheap that wine was. So that's a win-win. So always do a decanter. The 2 decanters that I have here with me today are these 2 right here. They were actually mentioned in that same video on 5 ways of aerating your wine, so you could find links for them there, or I will go ahead and link them down below on this video too. You can find them on Amazon. They're relatively inexpensive actually. So this one here, I love the way this one looks. Will definitely up your game when it comes to wine, at least in front of your guests when you have some family or friends over. And this one right here is super sleek. I love it. You pour it into the wide opening, pour it out of the smaller opening here. Both are super neat looking, so I strongly recommend that you start decanting your wine. Any wine can benefit from decanting. I strongly advocate that you start decanting your white wines as well. So it's not only for red wines that we use these bad boys for. My last point for today's video, my point number 5, is to start asking questions. I'm not sure why people are so gun shy about asking questions on wine topics. Next time you go to a store, call that associate out. It's their job to help you. Tell them what your budget is. Tell them what your occasion is. Tell them what your palate is and what wines you usually prefer. They will be able to show you something around the store that will most likely fit your needs. And next time you're at a restaurant, talk to the waiter, talk to a sommelier if there's a sommelier in a restaurant. That's again, their whole purpose of their job is to help you out. So whether our waiters and waitresses might not know much about wine, your somm will definitely tell you everything you want to know. And trust me, they're dying to be called to the table to advise people on some wines that they have. So not only that you will learn something new, that sommelier will also perfectly pair what you're about to order from the menu if you point it out with the best wine that they have in the cellar for it. Here we go, you guys. We're at the end of this video of 5 ways how to step up your wine game. I hope that you found them helpful. I hope that you will use them on day-to-day basis, not even just showing off in front of someone. So please make sure to subscribe to this channel. The subscribe button is still there waiting for you. It's right down below. Click on the like button if you like this video, and check out my other videos too. I will link a few links right here on each side of me, so you can subscribe to my channel and also go ahead and check out some other videos, including my latest video on this channel as well. So comment in the down below section if you have any other tips and tricks on how to step up your wine game. I love learning from you just as much as you like learning from me, so please let me know. Until next time, cheers everyone.